was about 13. Because Jim McGilvery knew who I was and I was a young kid, I was ultimately recruited to help him start the piping program at St. Andrews College in Ontario. So I actually went to boarding school in Ontario for 5 years and got to practice and learn and take lessons with Jim McGilvery almost every single day. So for those who don't know, Jim McGilvery is a very famous piper from Canada, won 2 clasps, so he's right up there with the best. And so I was fortunate enough to, get to do that for a while. And then again through the Invermark schools, I met Jack Lee. And so by the time when I was in 10th grade, still learning with Jim McGilvery, but Jack invited me to play with the SFU pipe band. So for the next 2 years before I graduated, I spent my spring break and my whole summers living at Jack Lee's house. And so I did that, which was pretty exciting, and I played in the SFU pipe band for 6 seasons. At that point, I came back to Albany and became pipe major of the Orrin Moore pipe band again. The band was just upgraded to grade 1, and so I did that for 5 or 6 years, and we ultimately qualified in grade 1 at the Worlds. And so, anyway, the band sort of disintegrated shortly thereafter, and now I'm playing with the Inverary District Pipe Band. So that's sort of my history in a nutshell. I think it's important. It's more important for me than it is for Rob Matheson. But just to kind of point out that when we talk about things, I definitely approach bagpipes in a different way than you might say is the mainstream way of talking about bagpipe stuff. But it all comes from actual practitionership and actually having done this. And most of the stuff that we talk about is exactly what we did to bring a good grade 2 pipe corps all the way up to a great grade 1 pipe corps. These are actually things that we did. And it's actually how we go about, doing things. And as much as you'll hear people talk about things differently, it all points towards the same thing, which is getting bagpipes to sound really good. So that's my introduction.
Honestly, as far as what I want to accomplish out of this week is some basic beaver and maybe something along the lines of a reel or a strass. We just don't play that stuff in the pipe band. So.
My name is Beth Paul. I'm from Essex Junction, Vermont, and I'm in a grade 5 pipe band, and I'd like to be closer to the beat rather than leading the beat, and improve embellishments. So.
My name is Jesper, come from Copenhagen, Denmark. I aiming for this week that, of course, improving embellishment, but also how to work further on when we leave this course. So I have a better focus on how to practice, not wasting my time, but get something good out of my practice time. So.
Richard Winslow. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I've been playing for 40 years. I dabble in the open solos. I go out and play there, and I'm here to learn more about the tuning techniques that Andrew's teaching, as well as some overall teaching techniques for my students.
So let's talk about some of those things that you hear that you need to get better at. And let's just do a brain dump on the board.
Rushing.
All right, rush doublings. That's a great one, rushing. We don't want to do that. That's really bad. Unsteady tempo.
Choke.
Chokes.
Tempo too slow or fast.
Yeah, tempo.
Not varying, but too slow or too fast.
Yeah. Overblowing, sure. Yeah, we're going to do all this in 3 days.
So bring it down slowly, and when you think it's spot on, just to double check it's spot on, go a millimetre further and say, tweak it back. Does that sound better to you? Do we all hear that better?
Yes.
Okay, you're not. Okay. Yeah.
learning stuff really fast and getting a bunch of tunes up on the pipes, right? That's not the best idea for development of fundamentals, right? We all know that. With that said, striking that balance between focusing on the things that need to be focused on and having fun, because it could also be really boring, right? To try to work on Scott and the Brave until it's perfect when you're a beginner, that's not going to keep fuel in the tank as far as enthusiasm as well. Does that make sense?